There were people in Jamaica who felt that Rita Marley was not good enough for Bob Marley, the dark-skinned woman married to the biracial man. And when he was dating Cindy Breakspear, there are people who were saying that she was beauty and he was a beast. So people who look like Rita Marley didn't want to see her to see Bob Marley, and so Bob Marley's status increased because he's a biracial man. But when he got together with Cindy, he was not good enough for Cindy because he was a biracial man. You have to understand the psychology. And there are people who wanted to see so-called dignitaries, dignified people, respectable people in society, didn't want to see this white woman with this Rasta man. He wasn't good enough. He could always depend on his own people to hate upon him. And the same is true today. Don't get caught in that. Please, I beg of you, understand it's a psychological damage that is upon the people of Jamaica. Think about this and let's get into the video. Greetings, everyone. If you classify yourself as a Black person, or if you call yourself Jamaican, you're going to identify with a lot of what I'm going to say. In this video, I'm not sending any warning. I'm not doing any prophetic word. I'm just having a conversation with the people. And I want you to understand some things. The more things change, the more they remain the same. This is why I personally take a stance against joining force with anybody based on any skin color. For me, I have relationship with individuals, with a person, not a group of people. Because if you stay loyal to a group of people based on physical appearance, you're just falling in line with the same types of prejudice. I used to think that I'm going to align myself with my own group of people and we're going to build together. And I realized there's no such thing. Most of the things that I've achieved in my life are as a result of dealing with people from different places. So I am done with that type of loyalty that goes nowhere. I'm going to use Vybz Kartel story and situation at present to make some point, not to just be on the man's name and just try to profit, because those of you who are on my platform know I ain't profiting from any of this. But I like to use situations or examples to make my point. And I'm going to advise people to be very careful about how you go about in taking part in this whole situation, because you don't. Now, I'm going to say that we can't deny Vybz Kartel's influence on people and the great power that he wields. Whether it's a blessing to him or in some case it might be seen as a curse, we have to acknowledge it. But what's playing out now on social media is not different from what happened 50, 100 years ago. The only difference is we have social media to see it play out, um, you know, immediately. I want to say that the greatest people among us as Jamaicans or Black people or whatever can depend on their own community to help to destroy them. Listen, keep in mind, Bob Marley is a legend today, but he was never respected for the most part in Jamaica. He's a legend that got, I don't want to say that word, but he's a legend that got attacked by his own people. And when I say attack, pow pow types of attack. And he had to run away from Jamaica and hide away in the UK. There's something wrong with the picture when we constantly, as African people, talk about being exploited, being used and abused by all type of persons with all types of agenda. But we have to understand that I've always said the enemy is often within, because no one from the outside can do anything to you unless you open the door. So, you hear stories that Sidem, who is Vybz Kartel's fiance, is an agent. I don't know anything about this, but what I'm saying is, if he doesn't open the door to let her in, regardless of who might have sent, if there is any truth to that, he would have to open the door to let that person in. I notice in Jamaica, you have one group of persons or individuals who are very happy for the release of Vybz Kartel. And there's going to be another group that's not, they're disgruntled, they're not happy that he's released. The same group that says, oh, Sidem is a perfect person for Vybz Kartel. They don't know this lady. They don't know her from anywhere, but they're willing and ready to tear Shorty down to accept her. But these same individuals, if Sidem opens her mouth and says something that they don't like, it's going to be a whole other story. So those who love Sidem, they do so because they hate Shorty. It's not because it's a genuine love. These people have no idea of what love is because, as the artist rightfully stated, a lot of them are traumatized. Trauma fills Jamaica. And so somehow, when we have our own people, we come down with the iron fist. I see so many people so angry that he's out. And they fail to see that there are other parts of the world where people that they worship, even as we speak, an individual is running for top political office in another country who has been found guilty of all these things. But somehow, as Black people, we have condemnation for our own. And when they don't like someone in our community, or everybody is self-righteous. And I don't join the self-righteous train. Everybody is self-righteous. What it's all coming down to is a self-hate. Hatred for self. And what's also happening is jealousy. There's a lot of persons who will not risk it all to go and achieve whatever it is. And when they see someone do it, they're angry with that person. Some people are feeling powerless, and some people don't have the courage to speak up for themselves. So when they see someone speak up in the way that some individuals are bold enough to speak up, they resent you. They don't resent you because you're saying anything wrong. They resent you because they don't have the courage to say what you're saying. And they stay in their bondage. They stay in their poverty. It is a psychological thing. Let me tell you, this whole thing playing out on social media has a psychological side to it. And it's a social experiment. The people are torn apart and they're so vicious and so hateful towards each other. And sometimes their individuals will come out to make it look like they care about the people and they care about truth and justice and righteousness. But they're really operating on hatred. As I said in a previous video, some of these persons are coming out here and saying that they want to see Jamaica change and this, they have motive. Sometimes individuals know each other and you don't know that as a public, and they are carrying, vendetta against each other, carrying resentment towards each other. But they use the situation in Jamaica, the crime and the situations in Jamaica, to make it seem like they're coming out with pure intention. But it is personal. You don't know any of these players. Therefore, you have to just come back now to history and to say, our great Marcus Garvey, after he was sent from prison in the United States and go to Jamaica with his expertise, he knows how to make money. He knew how to lead the people. What did they do? They mocked him, and and eventually he had to go back to the people who he was telling his own people to be careful of and to stand up against. The very people he had to turn back to them, because listen, when you go into a group of people that are traumatized and lack and suffer poverty. That poverty mindset is going to put them in a position where all they do is try to tear each other down, to destroy each other. And if you hear me, and we're not talking about taking any sides here, you know it's the truth because it starts at home. It starts in the family, brother and sister, mother and, daughter, sister, brother, fighting against each other. And if they notice that one person is elevating, there's a whole other demonic thing that happens. Our people are traumatized. And it doesn't mean that because you're traumatized, things can't change or get better. But you watch. When you see bad things happening, when you see people running out, you're actually happy. The people love to see violence. They love to hear crime. They love to see gossip. They love to see people torn apart. They love to talk about things they have no knowledge about. The Shorty and the Vybz Kartel situation, you know nothing about it. And I would encourage these individuals, do not allow these persons to draw you out to come show no receipt and to explain nothing to them. Because it's not like they like you or like Shorty. They don't like the woman, see them. They don't like none of these people. They don't like none of you. They just like to, if they don't like you, they take the opposite side. If they don't like you, they join your enemy and vice versa. Do you understand? When people should be encouraging individuals to make the right choice. They're busy out there trying to judge. And when you look into their own household, let me tell you, if walls could talk, I don't know who Sidem is. And I don't even know when they got involved with each other. And there are all kinds of speculation, and some of it might be true. Let these people work out their own sorrows and their own situation. And if they don't come and talk about it, stop trying to figure it out. It's not your business to try to figure out. What I'm really saying is Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey, and many others in our Black community have, laid it all on the line for our people, and most of us are not worth it. And so I ask individuals to stop trying to be hero and to live your own life and do what is best for you and continue to make the legacy that is positive for your offsprings. The people are grimy. I'm going to use Miss Kitty's name in here as an example. People mocked her all these years, said the most disrespectful things about her, not having kids or not getting married. And when she put them to shame, they still had something to say. You cannot please these individuals. It's best that you stay under the radar and achieve whatever you have to achieve when you're from Jamaica. Because the moment, they tear you down with their negativity, and when you rise above it, they're always going to say something. They don't wish anybody good for the most part. Those who like you, even the ones who claim they love you and support you, if you don't keep up with the image that they have, holding in their mind for you, they'll turn on you too. There's no loyalty. When you find one or two persons who are loyal to you, give thanks for these individuals. If you're an artist or you're a celebrity of any kind, just do your thing, live your life. Don't wait here for acceptance. People are going to lose their way if they constantly try to play up to the expectations of these individuals who often don't even have any expectation for themselves. Again, I'm going to say, if you're Jamaican, let me tell you, they're known to give up their own, to sacrifice their own. Don't pay any attention to them. And oftentimes, they will betray you. This message is not going to be received by everybody. But as a Jamaican, a proud Jamaican, I love the island. But let me tell you, I could do and live without a lot of the people. Some of them are very bad mind and jealous. Same difference. Some of them will take a penny, or sometimes they'll do it for free to hand you over. This whole idea that our people are so beautiful and wonderful, God bless those who are, but they're few and far between. You don't know who to trust. You cannot trust anybody. This is why when you come out, Vybz Kartel, and you're talking, be very careful about what you're saying, because they're gathering the information. They're going to ask you questions that are going to put you in a compromising position to use against you. Listen, all the famous Black people can depend on their own to be an agent, not just the other person you suspect as an agent, but you have agents within. Trust and believe that. And I'm going to encourage every person who is progressive to continue to do your work, continue to hide your story, even sometimes your success story. Don't tell everything. Keep some things to yourself. Please, I beg of you, because trust me, the ones who celebrate you and say, I'm happy for you and I love you, are often your enemy. The enemy cannot hurt you, because the enemy we often keep far off, but the enemy is often in our midst. It is sad, it's pathetic to see it's not changing anytime soon. So you have to protect yourself, protect your energy, and learn to love yourself and your own space, and not want to always show what you got or tell people what your plans are in the future, because as you open your mouth, their spirit, the power that they have within themselves, the power in their tongue, can destroy your dreams. Stay blessed, everyone. This is not going to be popular, but it's the truth.